So yeah, once again, thank you for coming to talk to us. Could you introduce yourself?
Yes, I am the at-large councilman for the city of Laurel, Maryland, and also known as the cannabis councilman.
And your name is?
Oh, Martin Mitchell.
All right. And first of all, how did you enjoy the conference today?
The conference, well, I enjoyed what I saw before our panel, and the conversation after our panel seemed like it was going to be, very exhilarating. And, I really appreciated the questions from the audience. So, all in all, I had a good experience here.
Definitely. Do you have any takeaways that you're bringing with you from your discussion?
I would say, one of the biggest things that we've been saying since cannabis legalization is, there's a space in this immature market for everyone. You don't just have to be a dispensary owner or a grower or a processor. There's many other business aspects that you can pursue to be successful and to thrive in this cannabis market, like lobbying, for one, like myself. So.
Right. If I heard correctly during the panel, there's only 3 black farmers with cultivation licenses out of 25. Do I have that correct? And then if that is correct, how do we increase that number and that representation?
I would say I'm pretty sure that was the number that Hope or Todd mentioned, which is true. I went to a lot of the grow facilities before we went recreational or adult use, and almost all of them were white owned. And if they were like minority, it would be like there was like 3 owners and one of them were black, or one of them were half black. And so what we need to do moving forward is we need to make sure that people of color actually have the capital, because a lot of times what we see is the biggest investors happen to be Caucasian. And so we need to make sure that they have the capital to actually start the business, to be able and then the knowledge to be able to sustain the business. Because a lot of people tend to forget that cannabis is just another retail business.
Right.
And so just because you love cannabis doesn't mean that your business is going to succeed. And so they need to make sure that those guardrails are there, make sure that those incubators are there to help those businesses along. And we're prioritizing the success of those small businesses, because as we continue to see legalization, we're going to continue to see more Walmarts of cannabis. And, it's not going to be those small, business owners. Yes, small business owners, and especially ones of color.
Definitely. Thinking about the road to 2024, how do we make cannabis more of a forefront issue, not only on the federal level, but state and locally?
So the biggest thing is, locally, even federally, is, holding your elected officials accountable. So, every chance you get, asking them questions on their positions on current policies, future policies, cannabis, drug-related. And that is really where you hold them accountable, is asking them questions. Because if you don't ask them the questions, you allow them to put together these broad policies that, they never really follow through on. Like, one of the things that we talk about is the presidential election coming up. So one of my biggest questions, is going to be, are you going to release every nonviolent cannabis prisoner? That was the same question that I asked a lot of the governor candidates in Maryland, along with, are you going to support putting, trades back in public schools and making sure that at the prisons and jails, they actually have full libraries and, college courses again, and so those same questions need to be asked to those elected officials. We need to, if you're a millennial or Gen Z, at them on Twitter, right? Like we've seen social media be very effective. That would probably be my greatest message, and then tap into those coalitions that we spoke about earlier.
Definitely. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.